Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky.
Weston.
And Caleb.
We're part of the Flipping Wheels team. For those that are not familiar or are maybe just coming across this video for the first time, for those that want to learn a little bit more about like how to find the best car deals in your area, we have Weston and we have Caleb. They're our partners for the Flipping Wheels team. They work with the Flipping Wheels group every single day, finding the best car deals in your area. I know a lot of you guys have been like bringing up the question if I still like invest in cars and stuff like that. So these are the partners that I have that are actively looking for just car deals within our area, trying to take advantage of every opportunity that they come across. So I'm gonna have them introduce themselves very quickly. And what we're going to do in today's live stream is we wanted to kind of are we live?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, but we had, I don't know if we're live on the correct one because it says 0 watching.
We checked the comments.
Can you go?
We're just gonna make
Yeah,
sure.
we're just gonna double check and making sure that everything's clear.
Let's see. Yeah. Looks like we're live. 36 watching.
Okay,
It's
I'm
just
not
had
too sure.
updated.
Okay, that's weird. Really do apologize for that. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
What's going on, Michelle? So, sorry about that.
Michelle.
Okay, now it's
Oh,
updating.
it popped up now.
But yeah, I'm going to have these guys introduce themselves. We're going to not only talk about and break down the deals that we've, have been successful in, but we also wanted to make sure that we allow you guys to share certain deals. Like if you guys are in the market as of right now to try to find a car, to share those deals with us, have us break it down, and pretty much get a taste of what it's like that you could experience every single day within the Flipping Wheels live stream. You guys go live every single day. If you guys want to explain a little bit more of like what you guys do, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, exactly. So my name's Caleb, by the way, and every single morning around actually afternoon, we go live for about 20 minutes, and we'll basically break down everybody who's in our private group who is actively looking for deals. They'll post in there for us to break down the deals. We have like a little deal format, kind of similar to LPP,
Yep.
where we'll break down exactly what they are looking for, because they're not super confident yet. People are still learning.
Yeah.
So they get to not only bounce off ideas and stuff they're looking from us who do this every single day, but also all the other members in the group. And so, yeah, it's super exciting.
I think the best and easiest way to put it is like when you're getting started in a new market, let's say like, you're trying to buy your first car. Having someone like, Weston and Caleb that can, verify if you're about to go check out a car, if you're about to spend time, money, gas on being able to check out that car, before you even check it out, you have these two people that, obviously do this on a day-to-day basis that are true professionals, and it's, they're passionate in what they do. So to be able to have them to verify that yes, you are getting a good deal. It's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, and all that good stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We wanted to see, and we got Max tuning in right now. So we want you guys to be able to like get a taste of what it is that you can experience every day. But on top of that, also hear maybe some of the success stories that we have within Flipping Wheels, and see if it's something that you guys do want to partake in. I do want to let you guys know that at the very end of the live stream, we do have about 20 spots open. And it's $50 off the Flipping Wheels lesson library. It's I think the full price right now is $197, so it's going to be $147, and we still have the 30-day money back. As in, like, if you don't make your money back, the amount that you invested, the $147 within 30 days, and you're actively working with us every single day, you get a full refund on the course. So in a sense, it's like if you're someone that's an action taker, just like we talked in our other video, and if you're someone that's going to become be proactive within the group, then we'd love to have you and to see if we can work well together as a team. But I wanted you guys very quickly to kind of like talk about maybe someone within the group or a success story that you guys have been able to like experience within the past couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start off with even mine. A couple recently that I've been able to do, just to give you guys an idea, was Jaguar. I don't know if you guys remember that Jaguar I had. So I bought a Jaguar for a really good deal for $1,000 after negotiating $1,000, and then was able to drive it and enjoy it and actually use it while I just had the other car. Yeah, it was a really nice car. And then 2 weeks later, I believe, I ended up selling it for $2,000, so 100% profit on that one. And then even a lot of our students, actually a lot of girls have been doing really well.
Emily and Michelle.
Emily and Michelle have been killing it. I'll let you talk about them. Jolie made $5,000 in her first 2 months, being able to buy and resell. She's been absolutely killing it. So definitely people who are picking it up. And then it's kind of cool because in the beginning they're asking like a lot of questions, posting like a lot of deals, and then they slowly are like, you know what, like once they're niched down and they see it, they'll start to.
I think you said like Emily, right? Becoming very just proactive in the very beginning, but then once you're so like self-disciplined and self-sufficient, you don't have to rely on the group, and I think that's the goal for everybody. I do want to like touch base on the thing that you just said about the Jaguar. You bought it for $1,000 and then sold it for $2,000. I think you have a perfect example with your brother of like how someone can work so hard, you know, to save your first $1,000. It's kind of like when you're trying to, and this is a pretty bad example, but like when you're trying to hit 1,000, you know, followers on Instagram. To hit that first 1,000 followers on Instagram, it's super, super difficult to even like get traction. Same thing when it comes down to saving those $1,000. But once you have those $1,000 or those 1,000 followers, then going from 1,000 to 2,000 is almost like so fluid. And I think that's the beautiful thing about, you know, and 100%, I think the reason that like investing in cars, like we have to admit, it's not a glorified market. But when it comes down to investing in so many other markets that are, in my opinion, so much riskier, I mean, it was just a market that I resonated so well with so quickly, and it was just so mind-boggling to me. Again, as a true like car just like freak, right? I love the idea that I was able to buy a car for a really good price, enjoy it, drive it to work, drive it to school, drive it to whatever it is that I wanted to do, and then on top of that, you could go from $1,000 to $2,000 in literally quickly. And it's like, it doesn't require any work. It's all about, you know, you make all your money when you first buy the car. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people in the traditional aspect, when people buy their first house or when people buy their first car, they're not thinking about that. So just imagine being able to become someone that other people can rely on. So when someone else is about to buy their first car and they're going to buy it off a dealership, for you to be that friend that's like, no, let me go with you and let me help you negotiate. Let me ensure that you're getting the best deal. And then that would be of value to the people around you. And it would not even be much of a surprise if they give you like a little like consignment fee or, you know, pay you a little something for, you know, just being of value to them, because you are literally saving them money because you understand what it is that you are investing in. And if you're on
so like I think I don't know if you agree with this, but like I know that like in the group chat we have members that are like masters in civics, certain trucks, and I think it's really cool that when someone posts something, now you know there's someone that knows that, because they just focus on one vehicle. And I think it's really cool that they're now just
like an expert.
They can answer it because that's all they focus on. So in the group chat we have people that are, you know, good with Honda Civics, Honda Accords, Toyota Tacomas, and I think it's really cool to see someone that just focuses on that sole type of vehicle, and we're all able to help each other. We're all, you know, I'm not just the only, you know, master at something. He's not the only person. We now have Michelle, which is on her second Tacoma, and I think that's really, really cool.
At this point, if I saw a Tacoma, I'd even ask Michelle, like, hey, do you think this is a good deal?
It's honestly because it doesn't take too much time. It's like investing in any market. It's so overwhelming because there's so many different cars. There's so many different stocks. There's so many different stores that you can open or businesses that you can create. But when you niche yourself down and you become a true professional, it's like you ignore all the noise and you just focus on what is your bread and butter. And I think that's the beautiful thing, that when you do become self-sufficient, that you can slowly expand, but with the idea that you have to start somewhere. And it's very overwhelming. Like for someone that's looking to just get started, pick a niche that's within your price range and a car that you can become, you know, very familiar with. And it might not be a car that you want to end up with, but it's something that you can afford, that you think that would be a good car that's maybe high volume within your area and that's reliable enough that you can enjoy. Before we move on forward, I actually want to say what's up to everybody that's tuning on in. I know we have 66 people, but I want to say what's up to Michelle, what's up to David, Matt Daughtry, my guy, Luis, Nathan, Dean, Jeffrey, what is that? Max, what's going on, man? We got Rich Cruz, Chase Henny, what's going on, man? Ismael Marquez, Bob Lee, Ice, and then we got Luis, oh my guy. But yeah, Billy the Kid is still here, and then Zach, Caleb, oh, that's you. And then Chad. But just wanted to wish you guys an amazing Friday. Thank you guys again so much for being and just tuning in. We hope that you guys really do enjoy this live stream. And then, just like Ishmael said, don't forget to subscribe, as you guys can feel free to check out both Weston's and Caleb's material on an everyday basis. So we got Connor, we got Samantha, we got Wide Broth, we got Amy, David. What is going on,
guys?
So I wanted to, before we we talked a little bit about like our success stories and the people that we've been able to have like, you know, a positive impact on. I want to ask the people that are tuning in right now, are there any questions that you have about, you know, maybe deals that you have came across, certain questions that you want to ask? If you're actually interested in getting started, we want to answer your questions. Like, there's no better time. We do this on a day-to-day basis. These guys do it literally every single day. They're on OfferUp and on Craigslist more than you are on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. It's again, their bread and butter. And this is the beautiful thing about this. Like, we want to make sure that you guys utilize this time to take advantage of, you know, any questions that you guys might have. What's going on? Jeff, Matthew, Jaden, Andrew, Shun, Jack, I like it, Chase. So let's go ahead and answer some questions. So how reliable was your Gran Turismo? So I think you're talking about my Ghibli, the Maserati Ghibli. Definitely not the most reliable car, but that's a little bit, again, not a very high volume car. It's still above $20,000, above $30,000. It's a little bit more of like a luxury car and stuff like that. So again, the more expensive it gets, the more like just higher end it gets, the less volume it's going to have. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult as not so many people are looking for that car. Thank you for the info guide. Interested in join once I get the capital together for the cars. Yeah, David, any questions? And again, I know that this might be a stretch for any questions that you guys might have. Like, just message either one of these guys on Instagram. Their Instagrams are linked down below. Direct message them. Like, even if you're not part of the Flipping Wheels group, like, we want to answer your questions. And if we help you out and you know, you experience some form of success or you make money on it, just shout them out. Just be like, hey, thank you for, again, your assistance. And that is it. Like, we are here to truly just, we want to see people succeed. So many people are trying to find different and creative ways on like how to make money when there's already a market out there that's so traditional and, in my opinion, so easy, especially for those that are into cars, to kind of get started and stuff like that. So we got Michelle. She's like, I'm thinking about selling a vehicle. How safe is it for a female to do this? Do you guys want to answer that?
Yeah, really safe. That's actually one of the things that we talk about a lot in our group is making sure that you're safe. So we have a certain amount of rules. I actually have 3 rules that I teach everybody to make sure you maintain. One is always go with someone. Never go by yourself to check out a deal. 2, always meet in a public space like a bank or, you know, some people even say like a police station. I don't know if you have to take it that far, but always like a public place where there's a lot of traffic. And 3, never go at dark, night, dusk, anything like that. As long as you follow those rules, generally you're really safe. I haven't come across any sketchy stuff as long as
I think it's both for like guys and girls. We have like Jolie, we have Michelle and Emily in the group, right? Regardless if you're like a guy or girl, I think that, you know, safety, you should feel extremely comfortable with what it is that you are doing. And if you walk up and you just feel like you just get like a mixed feeling or a weird feeling in your stomach, then you can simply just walk away. Again, you're not here to like make anyone like feel good or feel uncomfortable. Like the ultimate thing is like how comfortable you feel in that position. And if having someone as in like a significant other or a friend that you know take with you every single time that you go check out a deal or maybe to sell a deal, just make sure that you feel comfortable. There's no right or wrong. As long as you feel comfortable and you're doing something that, you know, you're fine with, then I think that's what's best.
And I will say one more thing about that is that a lot of girls have had that concern joining the group, and they're quickly that concern dissipates after they do like their first one.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, that was like way more, you know, simple and easy. Yeah. It's just like going to buy a purse on OfferUp.
It's the hardest part in anything is getting started.
Exactly.
Right? How difficult was it to get started in investing in the stock market? It's like a mind game. You continue to tell yourself so many reasons why not to do it because that's like the norm, right? But once you take like that first step and just, even if you're not going to buy it, one thing that we try to empower people to do is just to go start looking at deals and start negotiating. That's it. Like just to negotiate. And you'll see that once, it's kind of like paper trading. When you have no emotional or monetary like aspect to that deal, you'll do very good with negotiating. You'll see that because you're not like, you don't have any skin in the game and you know that you're not going to like actually buy it, you're more open to negotiate freely. I think that's something that like is very important for you to test out before you actually even buy a car that you actually want to. So you see the power of negotiation and you see the power of non-emotional investing. There's a good question.
I was going to read Andrew's. Is it a total negative to pick up damaged cars? That's part of what we talk about when we say niche down. I would say we always tell people...
Not total negative.
No, definitely not. We always tell people in the beginning to stay away from it just because there's a smaller buyer pool. But there's actually a couple people in the group that literally... They'll buy salvage cars, fix them up, and sell them.
If you're mechanically inclined, then
totally your niche.
But anything for the right price can be a good deal.
Exactly.
Anything for the right price can be a good deal. But you have to identify, what the right price is and your time that you're putting into it.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, did you have a question you wanted to?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I thought you had a specific one. Sorry.
No, there's no specific one.
I wanted to say too, while he was looking that up, just a little bit about how kind of I got started into it. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I don't even know if you know this. I originally started buying and selling and investing in cars because I wanted to invest in stocks, and it was a way for me to kind of build capital.
No,
and then I just
I saw you.
You too.
I told you that.
And then that's kind of how I fell in love with it, and I was like, wow, it's so much. Not to talk bad about stocks or anything, because obviously it's really consistent. But for me, I was a lot more comfortable investing in a Honda Civic that I knew it wasn't going to tank tomorrow.
It's the thing
that if you don't drive it, it's not going to change.
Exactly.
So I mean, you drive it, but it can't. I don't know.
The value of a Civic is the value of a Civic.
Yeah, I think it's whatever market you resonate best with. So his intention was to start investing in cars to build up capital to then one day start have enough money to trade. But then he found a true passion for investing in cars, and then it now led him to a role where now we're working on opening our dealership very soon.
Yep.
And so many now different opportunities have presented themselves. Again, it's you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So I think the beautiful thing about this is if you've ever wanted to get started, I don't think there is any or has ever been a better time. And then you have people that you can work with every single day, like Caleb and like Weston, that can assist you along the way.
John. John has a question. It says, are certain cars better to buy than others depending on demographics? Absolutely.
It all has to do with your area. I think this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Weston is from Arkansas. Caleb is from Arizona.
What are you good at? Cars.
Honda Civics.
I'm good with trucks. And there is a reason behind that. It's because I saw so many, and you saw so many cars.
Yeah.
That luckily we're able to complement each other. So when he has a truck deal or I have a car deal, I can ask him just like in the group chat. But yes, definitely different areas will have different that are selling cars.
Yeah. Definitely. I like this question from Alfredo. How reliable do you find the car gurus in terms of their estimated of below market price value? And this is something that I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this one. I can care less what Kelly Blue Book says. So if I can care less about what Kelly Blue Book says, I don't care what Car Guru says. The true market value of an investment is based off of what they're actually selling for in your area. It's completely irrelevant to me of what Car Gurus is trying to estimate. It's all based on a formula and an algorithm, and great that can give you somewhat of an understanding, but it does not matter because that's not what people are paying or selling it for depending on your area. Again, like for trucks and 4x4s are much more high volume car investments than maybe like a Toyota Camry because of the location and the value of a 4x4 in Arkansas would be valued more in comparison to maybe what it's valued here in where do you really not need a 4x4? Maybe like New York. Why
Dallas,
would you need
like something like that? Just big city,
big cities and stuff like that. It all has to do with the demographic, and the best way, in my opinion, to come up with a rough estimate of what it's worth is to literally search exactly of what it is that you are trying to buy within your area and just go from lowest to highest and start looking at all the deals out there. Start calling and negotiating them because what they have those cars listed for does not actually mean that that's what they're going to sell it for. So you negotiate with 10, 20 people, and then you'll get a rough estimate of what it's actually worth. And then that is like your ideal sell point. So now your goal is to negotiate and build that margin of profit and buy it. So if you buy it for, if they're selling for $3,000 and you see that everyone's only going to want to sell it for around $3,000, $3,500, then your goal is to build that margin. So it's to negotiate with someone and use your negotiation skills and what you can leverage to maybe get it for $2,000, for $1,500. And the more margin that you build, the more margin of profit. Again, we've said it multiple times, where you build all your margin of profit
On the
when you purchase the car.
Yes.
100%. We also had another good question from, it was someone in the UK. Let's see. He was asking, shoot, I lost the question. One second.
I like that you're getting a list and negotiating. Even if you made a list of like 5 similar cars and you wrote down like what their asking price, what they're actually, you negotiated them to, and you kind of build that range,
Exactly.
Like, and you know exactly. That's the best way.
And it's in the very beginning, because you're most likely, when you're first getting started, starting with like older cars, and they're not going to depreciate. The rate that they depreciate is aggressive in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But then once they're already 10, 15 years old, the rate that they depreciate at, it almost begins to plateau. Mm-hmm. So once you build that formula, yes, it's a lot of work for the first maybe 1 or 2 cars that you actually buy. After that, like Emily, perfect example, it's second nature. Yeah. You have this kind of formula in your head of knowing what it's worth, maybe certain problems that it can have, and again, you become a true professional on that specific make and model. So the question that we had is, can your course for flipping wheels help me in the UK? So when it comes down to negotiating and finding the best car deals in your area and the series of best practices that these guys share every day, yes, that is universal. Is the course designed with the platforms and the series of like examples that we give for those outside of the US? No. But one thing that these guys do all the time is, if you enroll in the course, let's say you enroll in the course and you participate for the 30 days, you're proactive, and you just see that it's not something that you can benefit from, then guess what? We'll refund you 100%. Like, if we don't provide value for you, then we did not do our job, and then we will refund you for it. And that's for everybody within or without the United States.
And I also want to say, although our course isn't exact, it is geared for people in the US. Remember that we go live every single day. It's not like, we just put the videos out there and the videos are the videos. You have like an interactive conversation with us every single day. So any questions you may have that pertain to specifically the UK, we'll be there every single day to like answer those questions.
Or your personal deal. Exactly. If you have a personal deal, we will literally look at that specific deal, click the link, and evaluate it right in front of you.
I like these 2 questions. So the first question is, if you are young, so I saw that you're giving the example about like 17, I think, and carrying yourself respectfully and well-mannered, and you won't have or it's like, I'm 18 years old, any advice for me not getting the respect I deserve? It all comes down to like knowledge, right? I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty decent example of someone, especially like investing in the stock market, or someone that has experienced a form of success. People right away, because of my age or how young I look, will automatically assume that like it wasn't me that got there. But once I start talking and once I share the information that I know, it's, you prove it. Like, it's completely irrelevant of what they might assume. But once as long as, like he said, as long as you're respectful, you carry yourself accordingly, and you are knowledgeable in what it is that you are doing, you're not here to waste someone's time. It's, again, treat this as a business, because that's exactly what it is. Exactly. You can make and have fun while still, being able to profit and come out on top. So, but I think that's a really good question. The second thing that I wanted to answer is, do you ever find yourself getting attached to a vehicle and find it difficult to let it go? Ooh. We are not Justin Lawrence. No, so Justin's like my partner for TechFoot Solutions and stuff like that, and he gets attached to like almost every single car out there. He's fine.
Every car.
Yeah, but I think for me, I could care less about any car. I think everything has a price. So if someone were to come up with like a cash offer, an offer for my house that I live in right now, I don't care that we just got settled in. I will sell it. And that's just I'm just completely like emotionless when it comes down to the different things that I invest in, because I know that my sole focus is treating it as an investment.
Exactly. Yeah. And although we do see them as investments, yes, we have fun with them as well. But at the end of the day, we see it as an investment. We'll profit and then get another one.
Yeah, I think that's another great thing. It says the one who is more knowledgeable and usually wins with the negotiation. 100%. It's like, you're not here to prove yourself to anybody. Feel comfortable, have fun with what it is that you are doing, and do your best to play your part in understanding the markets that you're investing in. And if you don't understand something, then freaking ask the question, because you have people like Caleb, you have people like me that can get you started in these different markets that you're trying to learn how to invest in. If you want to, get started and learn more about like drop shipping, then find someone that probably isn't too big in drop shipping, but that is at least knowledgeable, that can guide you in the right direction, because that learning curve can be cut in half, right? because of the assistance that they can provide for you and the amount of mistakes and the amount of best practices that they can share with you. Again, it's something that will cut the time, I think, in my opinion, much quicker, which offers huge value.
And that's something I want to talk more about, the negotiating too, because we seem to be getting a lot of questions about that. And I have had a lot of questions with that with people even in the course. Everything we designed to teach you in it is not, it's not designed for someone who's an expert already at negotiating. Everything's designed for someone who has no idea, no confidence, no nothing, and we take them and teach them tactics, literally specific tactics to make you really powerful in negotiating. One tactic that we teach that I love is to walk away. After you give your deal, your number in your head that you're going to offer, you make that offer, and then you're not pressured or anything like that. You walk away, you take an hour or two, go get lunch or something, and then 90% of the time, I kid you not.
And guys, like, please, I know you guys are just hearing him. I can't stress this enough of how important this is. Like, of being able to walk away. I'm sorry for cutting you, but I know that you guys are probably thinking like, oh, I'm not really paying attention to this. Trust me, negotiating and walking away and showing, even if you don't even want to buy that car, just do it. Just to experience what it's like. Do it 2 or 3 times. When you walk away, like I learned that from Caleb. I did not actually think that it worked, and it worked like clockwork where we walked away, we were driving away, and then he called Caleb, accepting the offer that he continued to say that he would not accept.
Yep.
And I'm sorry
with
for cutting you off.
With the Jaguar. And Ishmael, literally, he was like jaw dropped because she was asking $1,800. I know this is kind of a long story, but she was asking $1,800 for Interpost. When I got there, she said that the very least was $1,400 that she would take. And Ishmael was telling me, because we went back in the car and talked, he's like, there's no way she's going below 14. Like, she said she'll keep it for a long time. Yep. And so I went back and I said, no, I'm sorry. The best I could do is 1,000. Ishmael looked at me and he's like, there's no way you just told her 1,000. She's not going to do it. And so we left. Literally, we didn't even get all the way to the car. She turned around and she was like, you know what? We'll just do it for 1,000.
It's literally putting yourself in a position where you are trying to get rid of something. Just put yourself in a position. Again, don't overthink it. Put yourself in a position where you're trying to sell something and someone is so close and all you want to do is actually get rid of it, and then someone makes you an offer, obviously shows interest, and then simply walks away. Yes, if you're not in a rush or you're not in a rush to actually get rid of that car, then yes, you'll be like, okay, well, I don't really care about this. But again, it all comes down to consistency, and one person will break, and that's the advantage, the opportunity that you take advantage of. Because when that one person says, okay, actually, hey, wait, let me actually sell you the car for what it is that you were saying, or even come a little bit closer to your asking price. It's worth the shot. So as a former recruiter for Fortune 500 COS, this really works. Hey, what's going on, David? Thank you again. I appreciate that. So what do you look to find? Where do you look to find a vehicle? So there's so many different platforms out there. We list a couple within the Flipping Wheels course. Let's talk about our favorites, because there's so many out there, but talk about your favorites. Favorite platforms
here?
Yeah.
So here in Arizona, OfferUp it's big, right? You use it, say, yesterday, right?
I don't even almost use Craigslist anymore.
So he uses OfferUp more than he uses Craigslist. In Arkansas, Facebook Marketplace was the go-to. So it all varies. But Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, LetGo, and Craigslist are the main platforms that we use. It varies on which one's more interactive in your area, but here OfferUp is a big one.
Definitely.
What do you think?
No, OfferUp, 100%.
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace is killing all of them right now.
Facebook, you have to think. Facebook literally has the largest, what's it called? It's the largest platform out there in the world. So if they start anything, they have a huge networking base. So when they're like, hey, you can start listing things for sale here, it's so easy and so accessible, and you could reach so many people. I don't even know if you guys need this. Go to your Facebook, and there's a little thing that's called Marketplace. And you click on it, and it's all these freaking people selling their stuff. I think they need to reorganize a lot of stuff because
they do.
They don't even treat it. I don't think very seriously because
they have so many other things.
They have so many other things going for them. But I think Facebook Marketplace, if they were to refine it, because it doesn't show you from newest to oldest, it shows you to whatever it is that is most relevant to you. It's kind of
horrible filtering system.
And then it has a Kelley Blue Book price range, which isn't always accurate.
But the cool thing about that is because not a lot of people know about it, and because it's also done in a weird algorithm way, is if you niche down and you try to focus just in deals within your area and you break down all the deals, because people are only going to probably look through the first 1 or 2 pages. If you're someone that is willing to do the digging, you'll probably find nice little golden nuggets in there.
Yeah.
So do you guys buy from dealer auctions? And if so, how do you handle driving around with insurance and cars and keep your side driving?
I do with my dad.
Yeah, so I mean, your dad had a dealership, right?
Yeah, my dad has a used car lot, and so dealer auctions you can only go if you have a dealer's license. Then they have public auctions,
Correct.
which is basically the same thing, but it's open for the public. So I would go with my dad under his name and buy for him. Whenever we would drive the cars around or just back to the lot, it was insured through the dealership.
Yeah.
So that's really how dealers work.
And to give the example of like, do you need to like buy cars through auctions? I would say because
I promise you get better deals on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
And the reason why is because again, think about it. Just think about it. When you go to auctions, all those people there, their intentions are to buy the car to then sell for a profit, and you're competing with so many other dealers. So they know what the car's worth. So you're probably
have the money, like they can sit on it.
100%. In comparison to having people like Caleb and Weston, where they're so proactive on OfferUp, Craigslist, they see listings within the first 5 or 10 minutes, and they have to call and take action because it's such a good deal that they have to get it within the first 30 minutes or it will be sold. And I can guarantee you that a majority of you guys watching this probably did not know that it's that aggressive on these platforms, that so many people are actively searching for the best deals. And if you're not on top of, if the listing is there for more than a day,
it's fun though.
It's probably not the best deal. The best deals are the ones that these guys find, and it's when you're proactive within the first, I would say, 1 hour. If you find something after a day and it's still a really good deal, I would be genuinely like, if it's an extremely good deal, like these guys get absolute steals. I would be surprised if it goes beyond a day and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see it like kind of gold digging, you know, like there's literally nuggets popping up all day and you're not looking. So you need to get out there, guys. I'm telling you, there's gold, there's treasure out there waiting to be found.
So what's up? How much of a discount would I get if I'm a part of LPP to join Flipping Wheels? So Andy, I mean, yeah. So I don't know if you guys knew this. For those that tuned in later through the video, but it's actually the first link in the description of this. We're doing $50 off for the first 20 people. The promo code is FLIP, FLIP. Not only that, so the course ends up being $147. It's a one-time fee. You get access to it for a lifetime. You get to do these videos every single day with them. And then on top of that, they're actually updating the course complete. So we're updating the course for Learn, Plan, Profit. As those that are tuning in from Learn, Plan, Profit already know, they're doing the same exact thing for the Flipping Wheels course. So you can review the course and all that course material, great. Within 1 month to if I'm not mistaken, 2 months, the course will be completely updated with all new material to be a little bit more effective and efficient. That's exactly what we broke down, that Kayla broke down on the whiteboard over there, because again, we understand that the market's always changing and we want to make sure that we provide the most value. So if you're already enrolled in Flipping Wheels or you're thinking about enrolling, I would say it's better to enroll now, review the material that's already there, and then wait for the update. And it's not going to cost you anything more. We're going to give everyone access to all the new videos and stuff like that. So life and car. No, of course, thank you again for asking. So I appreciate all the value and things that you guys are saying. Greets from Belgium. Oh, that's so cool. What's going on, Jonas? Let's see. Is there a mileage limit that you wouldn't exceed when buying a car? I think there's. We're talking about a Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah.
How many miles did it have?
We saw one with are you talking about the 400,000 miles? So yeah, definitely cars depend, but there are some cars, Toyota Tacomas, stuff like that, 4Runners, they will go for like 250,000 miles, and people will continue to still buy them. But if you do the same thing on maybe a Dodge Dakota, it won't be the same result, and you won't have the buyer pool that you did with the Tacoma.
It's like saying like buying a car like a Maserati Ghibli that has over 100,000 miles in comparison to buying like a Toyota Tacoma that's even older that has 100,000 miles. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's certain cars that, regardless of how old they are, how many miles they have, they're so reliable that, like, I mean, Toyota Camrys that are really old, like the 1990s, are true examples of cars that I think that, like, will literally last forever. Toyota Tacomas are like, you know how there's like GTR fanboys, right? I think there's Toyota Tacoma fanboys. My dad is one of them.
My dad.
My dad and my dad's neighbor are perfect examples of like my dad's neighbor had 2 old Toyota Tacomas, and my dad just would not stop asking that guy to sell him the truck. He's like, no, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm not going to sell it to you.
It's funny. It's just a normal truck, but it's so...
They're just... To them, it's like such a cool because it's so reliable, and I don't know what it is, but I ended up liking them so much because my dad wouldn't shut up about them.
Well, it's Phil. Like Phil does this constantly, and his daily driver, like he knows so much.
Phil
and
has
it's a Tacoma.
Single turbo. He could buy whatever car that he wants that might be like an S car and stuff like that. He has a single turbo BMW like 335i or what is it called? Yeah, 335i. That's we call it Ruby because it had red seats. Super fast car, great. What does he daily drive?
A Tacoma.
A Toyota Tacoma because it's reliable
Doesn't
and
depreciate.
He knows what that car's worth. He knows that it's a like he's someone that does this. It's his bread and butter, and that's his car.
Yeah, you have to think about it as like a manufacturer. Think about all the thousands of different parts that go into a car. Whenever they build cars that they only build like let's say the 458.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many of those that they put out, and they only get to have so much lifetime on the road to like have problems and experience problems. Stuff like Camrys, Tacomas, and stuff like that. They have so much such a long life on the road where they constantly are reviewing and making parts better and everything. That's why they last so long.
Yeah.
So it says you are wrong. There are many cars and dealer auctions such as Mayhem. 100%. We're talking. We're talking about like, is it necessary for someone to have access to an auction to find the best deals? No, it's not necessary.
Exactly.
Because when you're going to auctions, regardless if they're online, like online auctions or in-person auctions, like I've done this. When it comes down to like my brother had a used car a lot as well, and we would bid on insurance auto auctions, and I would do that, online. Yes, you can get really good deals. You obviously need a little bit more experience with that. Also higher volume and a little bit more established. But on top of that, in comparison to if you're proactive within Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace, or OfferUp, you're still going to find absolute amazing deals if you're proactive within those platforms. So again, to answer the question, no, it's not necessary to have access to those auctions and stuff like that. So after buying the vehicle, where to sell it? You can literally post it. You could enjoy it, depending like let's say, what's a car or a vehicle that you guys are actively looking for right now? There's actually
Suzuki Samurai.
Okay, so Suzuki Samurai, yeah, but that's more of like something that you think that is cool.
Okay,
I want you to talk about that Camaro.
Oh, yes. The one that I went to go look at? Or
no, the one that you guys just sold.
Oh, yes. That one was a great one. So we actually had two, but the most recent one that we sold, we picked it up from a guy who was
how much?
Selling it $7,500. It was a 2013 Camaro.
2013 Camaro. So just think about it. 2013 Camaro. So I don't know what cars you guys are driving out there. It was a red.
Yeah, red.
That's a
beautiful car. 2013 Camaro, like Chevy Camaro, like beautiful cars. It's some people's like dream cars. It's like the thing from Transformer, right? Just not the SS. But absolutely just beautiful car. Bought it for $7,500. $7,500. How much did you sell it for?
$11,000. I don't know if they can see it. Not really.
But not with the glare. I think it's a beautiful car.
Oh, very beautiful.
11,000. So what was it?
3,500 profit. Yep. It sold within. Oh, did you already say that? It sold within the first 24 hours, or the first 24 hours, even 12 hours actually, of it being posted.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about also the state that we live in. Arizona is an electronic title state, so also you get registration refunds. There's so many different things that we cover within the course of, to become aware of the state that you're in. We can, if we buy a car right now, I can literally go to the MDV, pay for the title. I get handed a new title. I get handed the plates, slap it on, and if I post it for sale and someone ends up, making an offer within, even an hour after that, I can literally notarize the title, sign it over, and then he could register the car, and we can, walk away with the $3,500, just like Caleb.
Yeah, and we enjoyed that car for even 3 weeks before we even
filmed videos.
We did donuts. We took a while because we wanted to like do stuff with it. That's why we got it. And then as soon as we posted, we thought it might take a while. As soon as we posted that up, that thing sold. So
let's see. What do you guys when you guys buy a car? Do you put the car title in your name? Of course, yeah. Absolutely. So when it comes down to like buying any car, especially within what's it called? The different states within the United States. I'm not too sure for those that are outside of the United States, but definitely. I mean, there's so many different ways that like it doesn't even like when it comes down to like ownership expense, especially in Arizona, you don't pay taxes on private party sales. And then on top of that, I get a registration refund. So I get a prorated amount back. So like let's say I pay for a year, but I only use the car for a month. Then I get a prorated refund back. So I did this with my GTR. I did this with my McLaren. I did this with all my GTRs, with the Corvette Z06. I think it's so funny because like I go and these people, when I like register the cars, are like, holy crap, like you're paying like $1,000 or $2,000 for the registration, and like, oh my god, it's so much money. And yes, I get it, it's a lot of money, but I know that 2 or 3 months later I'm gonna submit the request online to get the check back and the prorated refund. And that's it. I knew that it was a car that I wanted. It's a car that I was going to enjoy. I knew that the opportunity cost and the margin of profit was worth it. I had fun with something I'm extremely passionate about, and I came out on top. Again, it doesn't matter what other people think, as long as you have a plan and you're knowledgeable in what it is that you are doing.
I like this question from John. He says, in the course, do you show before and after showing the process through buying and selling? Yes, and I really want you to go to Weston's Instagram right now and go look at his bubble. What's your bubble? It's called Restoration, right? It looks like this.
Yeah.
Click on that, and he has so many videos on there of like he does way better than me. He'll like completely take out all the like seats and carpets and do everything.
Just depending.
Yeah,
if it's something that's like
That
going
needs
to be like, there's some cars that like typically would attract more women. And women would like something that's very, I mean, like guys, like I can clean that. Guys, like I can clean that. I can clean that. I can do that myself. Women, they want something that's, approach or like right then and there. And I understand that. And that's, and it's normal. And so I take the extra time on certain vehicles to make them as good as I can.
It's the value that you provide. People like, let's say, someone is getting rid of their car. It's completely like not clean. I remember this is a perfect example because they're like, how can you take a car that's was listed for $1,500 and then be able to sell it on the same platform for $3,000? Perfect example is like, first you have to make sure that you get a good deal, right? You negotiate, you do everything that we've talked about before. On top of that, you're taking the car at a certain state, as in like, yes, the car maybe is a little dinged up. Maybe, it needs to be cleaned. So if I were to repost that car, yes, because of its presentation, it would not be valued, right? Like visually as such a clean car. But because Weston and what he knows how to do and how to clean it, how to make sure that it looks presentable and to make sure that it's up to par, he increases the value based off of what he does to it. That's the value that he provides. There's value in negotiating, and then there's also value in the presentation that you can actually, determine yourself based off of what you do to that specific car. And there's things that I always decide, when I do like these higher volume cars, or even higher volume motorcycles. I remember that, there's certain times that I try to think about like, hey, should I restore this motorcycle or should I buy the different fairing parts and make it more presentable? And I think about the opportunity cost. Hey, if I buy this, I can probably increase the value $100 or $200, but I'm just like, is it worth it to, dedicate all that time and effort to take that apart, put it back there just for the extra couple $100? To me, it wasn't. Again, then there's two different kinds of people. There's people that want to do this on the side, that have their different hustles, that have a normal job, have a family, have different things that they have going on, and just literally want to do this on the side. A perfect example of this is, how many of you guys know what the legal limit within your state is? Maybe some of you guys don't. There's a limit. If you guys are wanting to get started, in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, it's 5?
5 that you can sell, 6 that you can buy.
Okay, so you are given 6 opportunities. Same thing with the PDT rule, right? You're given 3 opportunities with the PDT rule, right, when it comes down to day trading, to take advantage of 3 day trades within a 5-day period. Same thing when it comes down to investing cars. You are given 5 opportunities, or whatever the legal limit is within your state, to take advantage of opportunities, make sure that they're the best deals out there, make sure that they're cars that you can enjoy and that you have fun while doing it. The first year of you investing in any market should be time that you try to dedicate to learn more about the market and like grow a passion for and to become more familiar with. So you should limit yourself to not, and like when it comes down to trading, over trading. You shouldn't be over, investing in cars either, because you're still becoming familiar on how to do it. And the best way to do it is to focus on quality and to make sure that you understand how many opportunities you can take advantage of within 1 year. And once you become aware of that, then you're like, okay, I have 5 opportunities to take advantage of. I'm starting with $1,000. I want to convert this $1,000 to $10,000. That is 100% possible, because from 1,000 to 2,000, then from 2,000 to 4,000, and then from 4,000, let's say you go to 6,000, and then from the 7,500 to 11,000, and that was four flips. And what other market can you enjoy your investment like this? Understand what it is that you're doing, managing your risks, and have fun while you come out on top.
Yeah.
And that's a ton of money. Even if you just go from 1,000 to 2,000, an extra $1,000 a year, just with very simple best practices. And if you're a car nerd like us, then it's like the best of both worlds, because you got to turn your passion for cars literally into profit.
Yeah.
I did it with a side by side. That was literally my favorite, probably one of my favorite films.
What do you do for insuring these cars? Do you guys even insure them? I want to answer that question because I get that question a lot, and I think that's something people are concerned about. First of all, I want to talk about the Focus, because a lot of people see it just as like, oh, you know, this is for people that want to just, you know, make money on the side. Although, yes, that's 100% true, and we do make a lot of money on the side. This is something that really anybody who cares about investing or watches, you know, the Dave Ramsey, cares about their credit, anything like that. If you watch your finances at all, this is something that you should always do, because the Ford Focus I bought almost 2 years ago now, I bought it for $2,900. It had 105,000 miles on it when I bought it. $2,900, and at the time it was worth around like $4,500. I've put 30,000 miles on it, 35,000 miles. It's still worth more than what I bought it for. So most people, when they buy a car, it's immediately a depreciating asset, and they're losing thousands of dollars a year on that asset. Why, if any of you out there consider yourself an investor or want to get investing in any way, starting on the stuff that you already own and the stuff that you already you know, obtain in your assets, start making smart decisions with those things first, and then move on to expand from there. So this is one, when people ask me, hey, I want to get into investing, I always recommend, hey, make sure you know your own assets, your own vehicles and stuff, even your own houses.
It's every niche or every market, whatever it is that you want to call it, where the traditional person just spends money freely, that's where you should become a little bit more selective. So if you're going to buy a house and everyone just is so focused on buying a house and they're so happy because of that, be a little bit more selective with learning more on how to make sure that you get a good deal to always just slowly come out on top. Same thing when it comes down to buying cars. Just make sure that you dedicate a little bit of time to learn a little bit more about that market. So guess what? You come out on top. And it's those very little simple things that will set you apart. If you want to be part of that, 10%, right, that actually does extremely well within any market, then guess what? You just have to be a little bit better, right, than everybody else. And it doesn't take huge steps. It's a very little simple best practices consistently that absolutely lead to huge results.
So I guess I didn't answer that question, but the answer was yes. I do insure all my assets. It's just a smart thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm friends with my what's it called, insurance lady from State Farm. She knows me by first name. She knows. She's like, all right, what car are we buying this month? So when I called her for the McLaren, she was like, oh my God, you sold the black one. I think she actually follows me on my social media accounts. Absolute sweetheart. She actually was getting really annoyed of me during November. November was my biggest month, not last year, but the year before, when I sold the McLaren. I sold the Corvette. I think I sold the R8 as well. And then I sold two or three, two motorcycles within that time. I think I made over $20,000 just that 1 month. And again, let's say my goal is to make $20,000 throughout the entire year. I did it within 1 month, and then I'm done. Just imagine that, an extra $20,000. Obviously, the cars that I was investing in were super a lot more expensive, but it just proof comes to show that it is possible. And I did it in a very relaxed way and stuff like that.
Chris, you see it?
Yeah, Chris.
I've got your Suzuki Samurai covered. He's like, I'm gonna find you one there and I'll drive it to you, and then you give me a Jeep here.
Yeah. No. Oh wait, Chris is here.
Yeah.
Where?
Chris right here.
I like that. One other thing that I actually wanted to answer is, someone said that they're in Arizona, and what about doing a in-person assistance with a car flip? If you're in Arizona and you're within an area and you're not creepy and you're not weird, then yes, we'd 100% love to meet up with you and help you in person. Just
150%.
We can film a video with you. We can help you along the way. And we'd love just to meet you guys. So if you're part of the Flipping Wheels group, hit us up. And if you're in Arizona or you simply want to visit and you want to break down a couple deals, Max is a perfect example of someone that was in the area, was visiting, and that just hit us up, and we actually did a flip with him. And it
still have one.
Yep. Yeah. Also still have one. Yeah. But it says, just joined the course with the profits I made today. This live stream sold. What's good on, James? Well, first of all, congrats on the Green Day, and happy to have you as a part of the team. And again, for everyone else watching this, I want to remind you guys that again, it's $50 off. The first link in the description, promo code FLIP. And on top of that, if you work with us every single day on a weekly basis and you're proactive, and after a month, 30 days, if you still don't experience the success that you wanted, then guess what? You get a full refund. That simple. If you're proactive and we see that you're active within the group, that's all we ask for. We don't want you to enroll and not do anything and then in 30 days be like, hey, I want a refund. No, if you're proactive, If you're working with us every day on a weekly basis for 4 weeks and you just can't find a good deal, or you just see that this isn't a market for you, then guess what? We didn't do our job, and we will give you a refund.
We'll literally go live with you one-on-one too. I went live with James, 45-minute conversation, just me and him about his situation. He was in like Arkansas, where I'm from, or in Mississippi, and there wasn't many deals, but I wanted to take the time to go live with him and just help him out if I could.
Yeah.
And we'll literally do that.
And these guys, because the Flipping Rules group is such a tight-knit community, so it's not like stocks where like there's so much volatility and everyone's just sharing like a bunch of figures.
Shouting stuff out.
It's people are very relaxed, sharing that, I think the beautiful thing about Flipping Rules is not only do you guys go live every single day like this and you break down deals, not only are you proactively ensuring and validating the deals that they share with you, but if anyone has any questions through direct message, I've seen where you guys actually jump on video calls through the Discord app one-on-one for like 45 minutes.
Emily and Michelle.
Yep. Yeah. And it's because we can offer that one-on-one assistance if you need it. And guess what? Do you have to pay the $147, $197 every single day or every single month? No. It's a one-time fee, and you get to use us. These guys want to be used.
No, I get excited when they asked to go live like one-on-one. I had a 45. It was here.
Yeah.
I love hearing people's stories from different sides of the world. Like
Weston loves talking.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm weird, but hey,
I like
it's beneficial. Is it worth buying this if you don't have time due to college?
Welcome to the team, Luke.
I did it in college. I didn't do many because it was very busy in college. But for example, I used these same concepts and bought 2 Honda Groms. One I made $50 off of, and one I made a couple $100 off of. Saved gas, enjoyed it, played around with it, pulled wheelies while in college, and using the same exact concept. So it's very possible, but I was more busy. So yes, I understand what you're saying. But it's possible, yes.
To answer your question, you're watching this video where we've been live for about an hour. If you have 1 hour even on a weekly basis, it's kind of like swing trading when it comes down to investing in the stock market. If your lifestyle does not just accommodate day trading, then guess what? You could do it at a much slower pace. But all we teach within the Flipping Rules group is not how to make the most money, none of that like BS. It's literally all we want to focus on is to make sure that you get the best deal in everything that you invest in within your area. So if you have time, like whenever it is that instead of going on Instagram for 5 minutes, you go on OfferUp, you go on Facebook Marketplace, and you're just becoming more familiar with the deals in your area. Whenever it is that you have time and it accommodates your lifestyle, then guess what? You can go pick it up, enjoy the car, list it, and then guess what? If someone hits you up, then you sell it on your own terms and you profit off of your own terms, and you enjoy your investment along the way.
And it's not always cars. I know, Rick, you don't
What's going on, Andy?
You don't relate to this as well, but like I saw someone post a go-kart. Remember how excited I got?
Why don't I relate to this?
Because I remember we were talking about folders and you were like, cars. Like, I don't know. It wasn't, I don't know. I'm from Arkansas, so like toys, I got so excited. Like I've done it side by side and it's the same concept.
Yeah, I don't know all
See,
that stuff.
that's why. That's what I mean. But,
okay, well, I'm Mexican, so there's a difference. Well, I didn't grow up with that stuff.
I know. That I'm not
talk to me
judging
about,
you.
Talk to me about, no, I was going to say something that was like drawing to like Hispanics.
So, yeah, you can use this with anything.
My dad had the meanest Astro van that he would drop me off at work that I would absolutely...
Really?
Yeah.
Astro
van, yeah. And honestly,
I didn't know that.
My mom had like a nice little Tahoe, right? And
your dad chose to drive it.
my dad would do it because he absolutely just would to prove a point, to be like, no, it doesn't matter what I drop you off in. It's that...
Yeah,
like,
I know, yeah.
It's for the principle of like, and I would ask him to drop me off like 2 blocks away from the school. He never
drive
did
right
this.
Up the door?
Right up to the gate. And he'd drop me off and then we'd go beep beep. Bye son, bye. And then my dad with the thickest like Hispanic accent. I freaking love that guy, but man, he knows how to pick my butts. And I was trying to be cool, I was trying to be like, yeah, no, super dorky.
Well, you're in high school. You gotta try.
No, he also did this in middle school, elementary school, and stuff like that. And he'd make me sometimes because it was a work Astro van, so it's all white, everything covered. It's like the little like creepy vans and stuff like that.
No, the windows are covered white.
No, it's like it's not covered white. It's like it doesn't
it's
have
a body. It's a body. Yeah, it's a body.
He didn't have back seats. He would make me sit in a bucket with all my friends. Which I don't even think is legal.
No, it's not.
But he
it's
did
funny.
it to prove a point, and then he would like take a turn really hard, and then I'd have to hold the gate to grab on. Yeah, I'm sorry, we went on a little
Your dad's funny. I like your dad.
Now, if you want to get a dealer's license in Florida, you have to have a location. Is it? Yeah. Is there any way to partner up with someone that already has a lot? 100%. Yeah. So you can start with on consignment sales, which is something that I share within the Flipping Wheels course, and it's a great way to build a relationship. And that's what I started to do as soon as I got to Arizona. And there's I think 3 to 4 dealerships that I'm partnered with here in the Phoenix area. And it's all because of it started with, on consignment sales. And now when we open our own dealership, we have those relationships and the assistance in how to get started. So I think that's a great way and a great point that you just made.
Yep. Best 147 spent.
Yeah, so welcome to the team, Andy.
Yeah, thanks. Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow.
So Chase Henney is saying the stream says unlisted. Is that on purpose? Yeah, we wanted to keep it as a private live stream. We wanted to make sure that if you guys had any questions and didn't want it out for like the general public and stuff like that, like we want to empower you to ask questions. Same thing with like the private live streams that these guys host every day. They're not the videos that you see on YouTube. They're private, unlisted live streams that only the Flipping Wheels group get to see and watch live and then have access to after. Kind of like if you're part of like Learn Plan Profit, it's the morning live chat library. They have the same thing, but it's for Flipping Wheels.
Andy, I just paid off my 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now it's time to do some Flipping Wheels. I like that. That's good.
Do you avoid manual cars or does it matter?
Depends on the car. This is we get asked this a lot. It depends on a lot of cars. We don't avoid it, but there are some cars that will be sometimes harder to sell if it is a manual.
Well, and all these questions are kind of very similar. So like the mileage question, the salvage question, and this, it all depends on like the niche, Like if you're somebody who, knows the niche of manual cars and you know what they sell for, if you see a good deal for one, you're not going to pass it up no matter what.
It all has to come down, the last thing that it comes down to is the deal, right? Yeah. If it's worth it, then great. You just have to be open-minded and be like, if you're asking that question, and it's because like not a lot of people know how to drive maybe manual, it does narrow down
some of the audience.
The audience, yeah, the
on certain cars.
On every car. So on every car, if it's a manual, it narrows down who's going to buy it because a lot of people just want to buy autos.
This Mini Cooper would have definitely sold faster in the first 2 days if it was automatic for sure, but it doesn't take away from the fact
but
that
at the same token, like a Z06 Corvette, a car enthusiast might like a manual more, or typically could want a manual more, and it could help you.
Yeah. So what do you analyze? Which cars are most sellable in or how do you analyze?
That's a good one. So just go through like OfferUp or Craigslist and scroll through like the first 3, 4, 5, even 10 pages, and you'll see right away like which ones are like
you'll pick up after, and you'll see which ones sell. So if you're just think about it, if you're consistently going through all the cars posted within your area and you put like a narrow filter as in maybe like 10 miles, you'll become familiar. So one thing that I used to do when I was extremely proactive during like November and December, not of last year but the year prior to that, was that I would spend about 5 to 10 minutes and I would always catch up to the last post that I would see. So it's kind of just like, going and seeing all the new posts, and then I see the listings that I previously saw the day before, and then I'm just like, oh, look, that car's still for sale, or look, they sold this car for this much, and wow, okay, I didn't know that it was actually going to sell. And you take these little mental notes, or you could actually take notes. So if he's still here, Max was someone that was very structured, which I don't see very often within investing in cars. And he had the couple cars that he sold in the past, and he had them all listed and stuff like that. He had his profits, the amounts invested, and all that stuff.
What he even did to them.
What he did to them, the operating expenses and all that stuff. So it depends on how structured you are, how you want to organize it. You could be someone that takes mental notes, or you could be someone that keeps it in an Excel file or writes it on paper. It's up to you. You decide what you want to do and how you do it. We're just here to empower you and to validate those deals and have a good time.
I'd like to answer this question. So how do you start negotiating on the phone or in person? See, remember when I talked about we teach a lot of different negotiation tactics? The one that we teach about this is that it depends. Now, if it's a fantastic deal where someone posts, let's say that Camaro that guy posted for, I think he had it posted for $8,000. There's no way I'm gonna try to lowball him or even negotiate him on the phone. Because exactly. It risks him. Like if there's 3 or 4 people that are all asking hey, I want to come check out the car. If you have 3 or 4 people asking that, and then the fourth guy is like, hey, or even the first guy, if he's like, hey, will you take 7,000, and you have 3 other people that just want to come see it, who are you going to give the address to first? You're like, well, I'll leave this guy for last. If these 3 fall through, then I'll go to this guy.
Yeah,
it's just common.
You don't want to rub anyone the wrong place,
Exactly.
especially or the wrong way. So.
Yeah. But if there's something that's posted for like 2 weeks old and there's not like a lot.
Yeah, it's just being able to determine like and be aware of what the deal is and what the opportunity cost is. If you see it's such a good deal, kind of like very similar to that Mini Cooper, as you were buying it, you saw 2 other people pulling up and it was listed right away. Like, you're not gonna waste your time and be like, hey, will you and lowball them, because they could be like, I have 2 other people that are trying to buy it. You have no leverage, and that's what it's all about. If you have leverage, great, you could use it. If you don't, then accept it, and if it's a good deal, then you do you. So let's do one last question and then we'll close out the live stream. We've been live for about 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
And I appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys have been absolutely killing it with these questions. So I'm in LPP and Flipping Wheels. Buddy Johnson, what is going on? So let's see.
How many spots do we have
automatic.
left?
Let's see.
Answer that one. How do you analyze which cars are most sellable in your given region?
How do you start negotiating? Oh, it's fun and in person. Yeah. Do you compare off-road based off of different deals?
Coupons.
Okay. I wanted to answer one question that I saw previous, and it's okay. So how did you get your first set of capital? So,
I got mine from my first flip.
Yep.
Yeah. So I saved up $1,400 working actually at Sonic, and then from there, that's how I kept building my capital.
Yeah.
Buddy Johnson, message one of these 2 guys, and then we'll set something up. So if you're going to be in Scottsdale, we'll set something up, and we'll either have you over or we'll meet up with you while you're in town. I think a great way to put into perspective, like for an example of how to get started. Well, first of all, if you don't have money, then obviously it takes money to make money. It doesn't mean that you need a ton. I would say a really nice balance to have to really start compounding your money is about $1,000. And again, that's opinionated, right, based on my experience. But I think it can be very powerful to have 1,000 because of the range of investments that you can make within that. Yeah. And then from 1,000 to maybe 1,500 to 2,000, and then that's the beautiful part where it really starts to compound and really begins to move forward. But yes, if you don't have money, then there's no magic trick that we have. You need to get money, right? So you can save, you can work, right? That there's obviously in the traditional aspect, so many different things that you can do. And regardless, if you don't have your savings in line, that's something that I like to empower people to do is to make sure that you have money saved regardless of what markets you're investing in, regardless of what job that you have. You should always make sure that you have money in the bank or that you have money saved just to make sure that you're afloat. I wish I had friends like you guys. Thank you again for the stream. So Che Henry, if I'm not mistaken, you said that you're in Mesa or something like that. So again, if you're in that area and you want to get started in flipping and you're part of Flipping Wheels, hit one of these guys up. We'll have you over and we'll have a good time with making sure that we focus on getting good deals. And if you don't have friends like us, then it's time to get friends like us. And it's you got it, man. You're someone that's motivated. You're someone that's driven. Attractive people attract attractive people. So just start surrounding yourself with people that are more like you, and you will build your own little Justice League like we have here at the Techlets house.
Not that we're attractive or anything.
No, not
physically we may not be attractive, but
yeah. So I wasn't gifted with that. But, thank you guys for the great stream here since the start. I learned so much and inspiration. Andrew Kirk, thank you guys again so much. So
Andrew,
is there anything that you guys want to say before we close out?
I'm just really excited to have a lot of the newer people who haven't experienced a new market to join us and be in it. So make sure you guys.
I'm just excited to regardless if you choose to be a part of Flipping Wheels or not. Again, we have the 30-day money back, the $50 off coupon in the description. But the biggest thing is just taking action. So regardless if it's investing in cars or not, being able to have access to the guys and learning how to negotiate, I think is a very important skill set to have that can benefit you in so many different markets, literally down the road and in the future. You can become a true asset to people around you when they're trying to buy a car. So if you're in the market for potentially buying a car in the near future, or people around you that might be interested in doing that, and you think that you could be a value for you, then it might be worth the investment because the knowledge that you gain is value that you can provide for others and yourself, and how it can actually save you money long term and actually making money if you begin to implement it in a little bit more of a consistent format. So
awesome.
Yep.
When's the next Q&A going to be?
We plan,
every month now, right?
Yeah. So the ones that are open to people that are not enrolled, but these guys literally do these live streams, just like you guys are seeing right now. They break down deals, they share their success stories, and they work with the Flipping Wheels group every single day. Caleb and Weston are here every single day working with the Flipping Wheels group. Well, I shouldn't say every day. It's Monday through Friday, and we're breaking down deals. They're proactive within the Discord chat and breaking down deals 24/7. So if you have a deal or you want to jump on a video call and stuff like that, as long as they're available, then yeah, they'll 100% jump on a video call with you and stuff like that.
If my phone's on, I will evaluate it.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much for your time. I really do appreciate absolutely just everything that you guys do. I know it's Friday, and I know you guys are just trying to get ready for the weekend. I can't thank you guys enough. Again, if you guys would like to be a part of the Flipping Wheels group, again, be sure to take advantage of it. I think you said we have 8 spots left for the $50 off coupon. Promo code FLIP, FLIP. And again, it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just make sure that you work with us and that it's consistent. So with that being said, they'll see you if you end up enrolling as soon as Monday for the live breakdown. If you have any questions, message them on Discord. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year
on a green note.
What did you say?
I don't know.
All right, guys. Hope you guys have an amazing Friday. Thank you guys again for your time.
See you next time.
See you next time. Take it easy.